A great eagle once soared the skies. Above the clouds he sailed his merry way, and over strange and foreign lands he flies, spreading his wings over all the long day. Some loved the eagle with true devotion, or basked in his beauty like a flower unfurled. Even when just hatched, with much emotion, they called it the crack heard round the world. But there were others who resented the bird, and said he hoarded the skies from others. Some even laughed and just called him a turd. But he didn't care and still called them his brothers. One day, however, Jojo the bear, who had been long asleep in his own little cave, awoke from hibernation and stomped about with little care, squashing a few rats as he left, the world now to brave. Jojo wasn't very good at making friends, though, and every time he tried to talk, no one wanted to hear. So he decided to tie up everyone and go back to his own home, where they all quaked in fear. "You'll never take us alive," said one to Jojo. He was promptly shot in the chest. "I'm perfectly fine with that," and he began to sew a curtain of iron with which to hide the rest. Meanwhile, the eagle wondered where all had gone. Thinking he reeked too much of hypocrisy and imperialism, he decided to take a shower at dawn, only to find that the world was now in a great schism. Two sides had now been formed, betwixt the eagle much adored, and the wretch of an animal with heart deformed. This is why we need a hobby when we get bored. Now Jojo, probably because he couldn't get a girlfriend, decided to point his vicious claws, now radioactive as a result of having drunk too much battery acid, and bend his ambitions too close to the eagle's beak reactive. In the meantime, the eagle decided to pluck all the feathers off his body, just in case one of them was red and thereon resided. Naturally, people called him an idiot with manners quite shoddy. And so they quibbled all long years over who was better, something stupid like that, and many innocents were brought back in tears. But it was in Berlin where much tension sat. You see, Jojo and Eagle could not decide what to do with their friends Bearmany and Berlin, so each took a portion of them with time to divide and called it partial to their own kin. Jojo wasn't entirely happy with this deal and tried to smother Berlin in the iron curtain, but the eagle flew right overhead to puncture the seal and made an air hole with his beak for life to sustain. Jojo was made absolutely irate with this, so, after downing 3 more bottles of vodka, he resolved that he would no longer be remiss and would do more than just dominate Latvia. And so they continued on for a long time, until Jojo got old and passed on, and even the eagle was replaced from his climb by a famous actor who would patriotism don. One day the respective pair met and decided to have a little contest, to see who truly could the world be set, with the merit and honor of the blessed. They chose a game of throwing rocks. The Patriot threw with the force of a nuclear bomb, but the other threw his into space without wearing socks. And then we invaded Vietnam. Finally, when a young mouse, named Gorbachev of course, had taken place for the bear, things devolved and sputtered from their source, until the fabric of certainty began to tear. Then it was that the actor said, "Meister Gorbachev, tear down that wall." And, sickened by the pun, with hope newly bred, the walls restraining Berlin began to fall. Eventually, the animosity began to dissipate, and the two successors became friends in a while, only sometimes coming to remonstrate, as all the bears slowly learned to smile.